This is the new Samsung Galaxy S22 series. As it's always the case with flagship devices of big brands, rumors about the S22 came out as soon as the S21 dropped. But the latest news and awareness are so promising that we just had to share it with you guys. So yes, it is that time again where we collected all the leaks and rumors to have a little outlook into the future. If you'd like to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And now let's start straight away with our rumors review. Let the facts speak. No, your eyes do not deceive you. This looks a lot like the dead Note series, doesn't it? Well, this is actually a very recent render of the S22 Ultra, which is supposed to embed a lot of the Note series' best features like the S Pen and therefore practically revive the series from the dead. Especially hardcore fans of the Galaxy Note will not like to hear that their baby will not make a real comeback. But it could be a compromise from Samsung. The S22 Ultra is going to have the mature design of the old Note, with its typical hard edges on top and bottom, plus a very unusual P-shaped camera design. Whether there is going to be a gap between the camera modules or not is still up to the future. But at least the shape seems to be confirmed, as recent leaks of Samsung's protective case manufacturer suggests. So is the whole S22 lineup going to go through a big visual overhaul? No, the Ultra version seems to be the exception here, while the standard S22 and the S22 Plus or S22 Pro, which some reports call it, are going to look very similar to the current range. This doesn't really come as a surprise though, since Samsung seems to be preparing big hardware changes this year. So they seem to focus more on the inside than the outside. In terms of coloring, it is rumored that the base and Plus version will come in white, black, rose gold and green shades, while the Ultra is going to be available in black, white and dark red. All I gotta say is that the green and dark red sound exciting, and the renders look also very promising. Of course, we've also heard about possible dimensions and rates for the S22 range. It seems like that these phones are going to be smaller than their predecessors, which could also lead to smaller displays. Speaking about displays, there are multiple sources claiming that we might indeed see slightly reduced screen sizes on the S22 range. The Ultra being the only exception here, getting a 6.81-inch screen, which is practically the same as before. Additionally, we heard that the S22 Ultra is going to be the only one equipped with an LTPO display, meaning it's likely to be the only model of the lineup with a wearable refresh rate. Besides that, it might also be the only one with a glass back, as the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus will apparently be switching to plastic, and the standard version already being plastic. As usual, nowadays we are going to see a refresh rate of 120Hz on all three devices, paired with a Full HD Plus resolution on the S22 and S22 Plus, and a Quad HD Plus resolution for the Ultra. What is rather unusual and might also be the biggest design change of the new lineup is the possible implementation of the under-display camera. This feature debuted in Samsung's new Galaxy Z Fold 3 this year and would enable a true full-screen design without the traditional punch hole. Although the punch hole will of course still be there, because the camera has to be placed somewhere. Samsung seems to have filed a patent for a punch hole camera with a sub-display, which means that the camera is going to be visible when in use and an internal pop-up display will cover it the rest of the time. That said, the result of the feature debuted in the Z Fold 3 were pretty mediocre. So it is also possible that we might not see this feature in the S22, but rather in later versions when the technology is more advanced. Let's move on to the subject most people are excited about when buying a flagship phone: the camera. The last 6 months were full of rumors about a potential partnership between Samsung and camera giant Olympus. These certainly were exciting news for every photography enthusiast, because such a partnership would offer almost endless possibilities. And of course, this also led to renders such as this one, which in our opinion looks absolutely ridiculous. Recently, Olympus' parent company stated that Olympus is not working on a camera phone with Samsung. So that is out of question anyway. It seems that the origin of these rumors was Samsung's codename for its new Exynos 2200 chip, which is Olympus. Another exciting rumor says that the new Galaxy could come with a huge 200 megapixel main camera, which led to renders that look like this. Well, not the best solution if you ask me. And as you saw earlier in this video, we know by now that the S22 series camera setup is most likely going to look much more discreetly. This certainly does not speak against a potential 200 megapixel sensor, especially since Samsung announced the ISOCELL HP1 on the 2nd of September. which is the industry's first 200 megapixel image sensor with 0.64 micrometer pixels. So, this large sensor is a real possibility for the Ultra, although most reports suggest that Samsung will go for the 108 megapixel sensor again, but with a polish that we haven't seen on previous versions. Besides that, the Ultra will be equipped with a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, two 12 megapixel telephoto cameras with 3x and 10x optical zoom, like its predecessor. There are also talks about a continuous optical zoom, which would mean that all the zoom levels between 3x and 10x optical would be optical as well, where most phones have to fall back on digital or hybrid zoom for the middle ranges. However, we doubt that this is really going to happen, since having two zoom cameras would not make much sense then. The standard version and the S22 Plus are as always equipped with a triple lens camera system, most likely consisting of a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto, with a 3x optical zoom. That would be quite a change from the previous camera setup of the S21 and most certainly a nice upgrade. Last but not least, let's talk about endurance. So, the current Galaxy series actually performed really well in most endurance tests, and rumors earlier this year about Samsung's testing out 45 and 65 watt charging capabilities were a reason to hope for an even better battery in the S22 series. Besides that, it seems like the batteries of all three versions are going to shrink compared to the current Galaxy series. As reported, the base Galaxy will offer 3700 mAh, the Plus will have 4500 mAh, and the Ultra might get 4900 mAh. The numbers of course vary in different sources, but the trend is definitely downwards. However, this does not mean that the new Galaxy series has to be less persistent than its predecessor. Samsung may have just put more effort into battery optimization than capacity to deliver a solid battery life overall. Alright, that's it for now. That's all we got. The new Galaxy S22, ladies and gentlemen. There are some changes to look forward to, and the Note may return at least somehow. Of course, we are still a month away from the release and a lot can happen until then. And most importantly, these are all just rumors and nothing is confirmed yet. But what do you think? Is this a phone you are looking forward to? Are the upgrades going to be enough to convince you to buy it? As soon as we get our hands on the new device, we will definitely do comparisons. But until then, please let us know in the comments below what you think. If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Till then, take care and see you soon.